Hello everybody, this is Sneaky the Lost, coming to you from my streaming world. We're going to try doing recordings and throwing it up on YouTube this time. I have a very strong suspicion that there was a problem somewhere between my computer and Twitch TV. So we're going to try doing this just a regular recording and posting it up as video, and seeing how that works. So, there's that volcano, which I still want to deal with at some point. I do want a lot of that lava, and once I start draining the lava from the top of that volcano, the subsequent stuff should cease to be. So, what I'm really wanting to do here is probably do a little bit of a tree house. Now, we've already got a little bit here. There we go. And I've cleared out this room, and you notice I've also made it a kind of a circular thing. We're going to try and avoid 9x9s for this playthrough. They're just kind of boring. So, what I also need to do is get my technological infrastructure going. Fortunately, these can be done pretty much simultaneously. I do also want to swap this around here. Hang on, where's my mattock? There we go. Well, first I want to repair my mattock. And I actually don't have any cobblestone to repair it with. Oh, of course I do. I've got a digger's backpack. Digger's backpack. Here we go. There we go. That should suffice me. I do like the forestry backpacks. They're very useful to me. So. Boom. 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 And why do you ask I am doing so? Because I'm wanting to go this way and put in another door here. Right, so. And while I'm at it, might as well expand this a little bit. So now I have 6 redwood bark. And make myself a redwood bark door. Like so. There we go. So, we're going to be moving out of this hut, although I will be keeping this hut around, primarily because, well, I do plan on getting into witchery, and what would witchery be without a witch's hut to witch in? There we go. And while we're at it, well, maybe not that one. I seem to have put up all of my wood as well. So, this actually seems like a good room to set things up in. I probably ought to move my smeltery in here as well, if that's going to be my construction room. I do want to kind of expand upwards here. But that's going to be quite interesting, because as you can see, upwards, yeah. However, I do have a couple of ideas on how to fix this problem. You see, I'm going to try and make it look more like a mound. Some of you may remember the Hollow Hills. That's kind of what I'm going to be doing, that kind of general appearance. There we go. There we go. And there we go. So, now we go outside. I said we go outside. Thank you. And as you can see, we've got a little issue here. But we can have this fixed. Not a problem. There we go. Whoops. Let's see. We want the roof to be here. Oops. And then, there we go. And I am still recording at 30 frames per second. So whatever my problem was, it was somewhere between my computer and Twitch TV. Whatever it was. So, I now has a couple of rooms. I will want to get into some technological advances. Let's see. What do I want to do? I really want to get into thermal expansion. Thermal expansion is just a really, really awesome thing. However, to get into that, I'm gonna want power supply. So let's see what kind of power supplies I can get up to with thermal expansion. Mod. Thermal expansion. There we go. Here we go. There we go. So, we also have leadstone hardened energy conduits. Leadstone rate 80 RF per tick, hardened is 400. Redstone energy conduit is 10,000 per tick. Okay. Judging from what I've seen from Kieran Dave's Let's Play, the leadstone really isn't all that good. What do I need for hardened energy conduit? Well, I need a leadstone energy conduit, and then redstone, and then some Invar nuggets, and that gets me 1. Ew. Or leadstone energy conduits, and 2 Invar ingots, and 3 redstone to get me 3 of them. So what do I need for redstone energy conduits? Okay, the electrum, the hardened glass, and that provides that. Meh. Impulse item duct transfers items quickly. That's interesting. Oh, you take your item duct and you fill it with glowstone and it speeds things along. Interesting. Very interesting. So, furnace, pulverizer, sawmill, induction smelter, fluid transposer, glacial precipitator, ignites extruder, aqueous accumulator, cyclic assembler, energetic infuser, machinist's workbench. I'm going to have to check that one out. Autonomous activator. That's a new one on me. Terrain smasher. That's probably a block breaker of some kind. And nullifier. But we have 3 dynamos. We have steam dynamos. Generates redstone flux. Requires water and solid fuel. Magmatic dynamo. Requires hot fluids. I'm assuming that means lava. And compression dynamo requires fluid, fuel, and coolant. Okay, so those are the 3 things that I could do for that. However, I do have other options, but we'll get to that in a moment. Creative energy cell. No, we're not going to get into creative mode here. Sorry. Actually, you know what? I should probably not be standing outside while talking about all of this. Just, just had that random thought that might not be the smartest move in the world for me. And since we're going to be kind of moving in to that other place, why don't we go ahead and move in? Here we go. And of course, since the sun is setting, we just go ahead and throw the bed right there for now. Sleep in it. And we have reset our spawn point. There we go. Anyways, as I was talking about energy, leadstone energy cell can only send and receive 80. Hardened energy cell can send and receive 400. And redstone energy cell can send and receive 2000. And then we have the resonant energy cell, which can send and receive 10,000 as well, and carries quite a bit more energy. Right, so portable tanks. What do I need for a portable tank? I need a copper ingot and stuff. Glass, clear glass, burnt quartz, frosted stone, ender infused stone, burnt quartz, gravel, bricks. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I'm just gonna call that glass. Right, so glass around copper. Not actually too terribly bad. Yeah, 1 copper with 4 glass. That's actually pretty easy. What does the hardened one require? The portable one and for Invar, or copper, glass, and Invar. Okay, and then the reinforced requires the hardened and some hardened glass. And then the resonant one requires these indurium ingots, which I'm not going to be getting into anytime soon. So, first off, let's set up this again. We can set this here, throw all of these things in it. Stencil table, part builder, and tool station. There we go. I'm not sure what to do with this room yet. I do want to set up kind of a treehouse kind of thing, multi-layered treehouse. The other thing I could do, I believe Mechanism also supports redstone flux, and Mechanism's got some really, really nice means of passive energy generation that I think I shall take advantage of. Will require a bit of steel. Fortunately, I have manganese. I have iron, so I can make steel. That is not a problem. Let's see. There's several different ways I can do this. Let's go Mechanism here. Mod. Mechanism. We got Mechanism generators. Here we go. So we've got the heat generator that produces passive energy as it is surrounded by lava. It is the only one which does not require steel. That's cheap to make. A solar generator. Oh, solar generator. also does not require any steel. Energy tablet does require steel. So it does require steel, actually. The energy tablet now is a redstone surrounded by a steel ingot. The solar panels do not require it. That might be an option. I don't know how much it would produce. Then there is the electrolytic separator and the hydrogen generator. Or I could go with the biogenerator. The advanced solar generator is 3 iron, 4 of those previous solar generators, and a couple of enriched alloys. Unfortunately, these tooltips don't tell me how much energy they produce. Then, of course, there's also the wind turbine, which requires a control circuit, a couple of energy tablets, and some osmium. So this actually will take a lot less. These used to require a steel frame. Apparently, at some point, their recipes got changed. I'm not sure if that's a resonant rise thing or a mechanism thing. The control circuit doesn't require hardly anything at all. I could actually make this pretty easily and fairly quickly. So, yeah, that would at least get me started. And that would actually do fairly well up high. That might be an option for me. Let's just see. Elevator. Requires a bunch of wool and an ender pearl. An ender pearl? Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Fine. I got you. Punk. We can do that later. Let's see now. So, treehouse is definitely going to be a project for later, not now. Right, so, the hydrogen generators are actually really nice. They produce copious quantities of energy. They do require some setup here to be done. You see, you need the electrolytic separator, which actually requires power to run. The hydrogen generator will then produce a surplus of power. It's never a bad idea, though, to have a secondary power supply. We could set up a solar panel, but again, with the canopy of trees, not really a good idea. The heat generator is always an idea. You can throw coal into it, or charcoal, just like you would a regular generator. And you don't need the lava around it, but the lava around it gives it that passive energy flow that I really like. So I'm kind of in a quandary at the moment of what I really should be doing here. Now, I could set up one heat generator just to kind of prime the pump, so to speak. That's an option. I really do want some passive energy income because I'm wanting to get into applied energistics as quickly as I can. And applied energistics requires a consistent stream of energy. Maybe not a whole lot, at least not to start off with, but consistent. There we go. Light up this area under this tree. Hopefully we won't get any random spawns. So, pardon me. Right, so, now there's a couple of ways to get this taken care of here. And, I really do want to start off with the hydrogens. The hydrogen generators. They really produce a good supply of energy. Now, I could set up the heat generators with lava. I've got a couple of buckets. I've got a volcano nearby. Not to mention, I've got some lava lakes off in that direction. So, lava is not particularly hard to come by. It does get a little bit cumbersome to play with, but that's not too bad. My only concern is the flammable nature of this tree. Lava and wood do not mix, so I would have to do so in here. Actually, that might work. Yeah, we'll start off with one heat generator, why don't we? Which means I'm going to need to grab myself some lava. But first, let's sleep. And reset the morning with our wool-based temporal-spatial distortion device. Or at least temporal-spatial device. Well, you know what I mean. And while we're at it... Okay. Yeah, there we go, down this direction is a lava lake. Most of the lava coming down off of that volcano is flowing lava. I would have to get up to the top of the volcano to be able to grab a bucket's worth. And, yeah, I could. But, that's an awful lot of effort. And I've got this right here. This is actually a fairly sizable lava lake while we're talking about things like this. You know, I have an idea. I'm gonna need to carry around copious quantities of liquids at some point. I might as well start the process of making myself some tanks. So, I'll need some glass. I will need some more glass. For that, I will need some sand. Thank you. More bread. Good. Cook up some more sand for me, would you, good fellow? I will need a copper. And we shall obtain ourselves some glass. Okay. We're also going to need a wrench of some kind. Let's look at the crescent hammer, which is the thermal expansion wrench. It requires 1 silver and 3 iron. Ouch! I think a regular Buildcraft hammer wrench will also work for most things that I'm wanting to do at the moment. So let's go ahead and make one of those instead, which will require a stone gear and 3 iron ingots. Where is my iron ingots? I know I had iron ingots in here somewhere. It's not like I don't have, you know, over a stack of the ore. I can make more, but I know I had some somewhere. There's nothing in there. Is it in here? That's steel, seared bricks. Come on! I know, it's got to be staring me right in the face. It's got to be. Aha! We have exactly 3 iron ingots. 1, 2... Come on. 3. A 3. And while we're at it, you And you makes a portable tank. Awesome. Now we can has portable tank, which can store 8 buckets of liquid. So let's head back over here to this lava pool, and we will obtain 8 buckets of lava. And we will do so thusly. Set that there. Pick up a bucket. 1 bucket, thank you. Unfortunately, as you can see, my right click is really inconvenient. We've got 4 in there now. Five, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Now let's see if this works. Yes, it does. Awesome. We can has lava. Alrighty then. So, we has lava. So we can actually get this party started. One other thing I will want to snag out of here is you. Eventually I'm going to make a clipboard from Darkcraft, but not yet. I'm actually not the world's biggest fan of Darkcraft. Don't expect to see me do too much with it, but I do like the clipboard. And there we go. So, heat generator. Requires enriched alloys, enriched iron, osmium, iron, redstone. Okay, well, guys, it's getting towards that point of at that half-hour mark, that wrapping up point. So hopefully this episode actually recorded properly. If it did, I will be uploading it. If it did not, well, you probably won't be seeing it then, will you? Either way, hopefully this experiment will be a success, and you will be able to catch another episode of Shneeky Getting Lost in Minecraft. Until then, take care.